In today's For Your Family, next week marks National Women Health Week. It might be a good time to take stock of your health and see if there's anything you should be talking to your doctor about. Dr. Nicole Williams, founder of the Gynecology Institute of Chicago, is here to tell us about 3 gynecological issues with conditions that are often overlooked. So welcome.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being here.
Of course.
We talk a lot about breast cancer. We go to the doctor. We say we should be doing breast self-exams.
Right.
We get our mammograms. But so many other things are really not talked about.
Exactly.
And one of those, let's start with STDs and HPV. Because if you ask someone, they would say, oh, no, not
What's
me.
that? I don't have that.
No.
But in actuality, most women are going to be at least exposed to HPV in her lifetime. And in fact, almost 70 million Americans are affected by HPV. And of course, we know that HPV is a virus, but that virus can lead to cervical cancer, which causes about 70% of cervical cancer. So yes, HPV is a major, major factor in women's health. And we tend to overlook it because, oh, my pap smear was fine. But ask your doctor, did you also get the HPV test?
So you have to ask for it specifically. It's not part of the routine screen in the pap smear.
Depending on the age, 30 plus, your physician, your OBGYN should be doing HPV testing. Less than that, if you've had a history of HPV or you believe, then you should ask him or her.
Well, let's talk about the HPV vaccine then, because it is associated with cervical cancer. And typically the pediatricians will ask when your child gets to a certain age, boy or girl, whether or not they need the HPV vaccine or you want to give it to them.
Yes,
but I think there are still parents who are worried about it.
I know. And that's a big tragedy when it comes to public health, because we get what's called hive vaccination. So when everybody gets vaccinated, then everyone is protected. And families think, oh, well, my kid doesn't have to be if everybody else's kid is. That's not how it works. That's not how public health works. The more people are vaccinated, the more the immunity, it's called hive immunity, the more that immunity is perpetuated through the generations. So the HPV vaccine should be given between ages 9 and 26, all the way up to age 26. So if you're still in your parents' insurance, then you should actually still be getting the HPV vaccine.
And if you're old enough that your parents didn't decide for you, maybe you could make the decision for yourself at that point.
Absolutely, yeah, it's a wise choice.
Let's talk about some pelvic disorders as well, because I think when people have sort of unexplained pain, they don't really know how to bring it up to their doctor. So what should we be doing? Trying to specify or asking about specific disorders?
Right, so some of the major pelvic disorders include endometriosis, which is very often overlooked. Of course, incontinence, dyspareunia, meaning pain with sex, we see on the graphic here, pelvic inflammatory disease, and of course vulvodynia, or also known as vulvar vestibulitis. Now this is a chronic pain syndrome, and a lot of doctors, if you're going just to your primary or internal medicine doctor, he or she may not know how to address that issue. So if you have pain, especially if you're thinking about something like endometriosis, point tenderness, something in one particular spot that doesn't tend to go away, if you're having leakage, if you're having a diffuse lower abdominal pain that's kind of what we call relapsing, remitting, it comes and goes, things like that, make sure to address it with your physician. Don't just let him or her just, oh, pap smear done, time to go. Go, hey, you know what? Slow down. I have some concerns I want to address, especially about my pelvic health.
And so often women think, well, it's just a little bit of pain, we'll live with it, and you just go on.
We live with so much. And I'm here to say, you don't have to just live with it. Get it addressed, because we have so many treatments available.
Let's talk about cancer as well. We touched on cervical cancer a little bit. We often talk about breast cancer, but what about ovarian cancer? They call it the silent killer. They say it whispers. There really aren't any symptoms to speak of. So what do we need to know?
So what we need to know about ovarian cancer is it's very non-specific type symptoms. So you'll get bloating, feeling full, they call it early satiety. We're just looking at the graphic, only 45% is an overall survival rate. We're talking from grade 1 to stage 5.
Because it's discovered so late.
Because it's discovered so late, so your overall survival is worse. And also with cervical cancer, 13,000. And this is, we're talking about HPV, cervical cancer, still one of those major things. 13,000, about 4,000 are killed by cervical cancer every day.
And people don't talk about that because it's related to HPV,
because it's
so there's
related
sort of
to HPV, and there's a stigma about, oh, you got that because it's your fault. It's never her fault. And also we're thinking about uterine. The most common gynecologic cancer is uterine, actually the easiest to treat too.
Wonderful. Okay, well, so these are important issues that people need to
Very
think
much
about.
so.
At the very least, just ask your doctor that
Ask your
added question,
doctor.
what do I need to know about my body?
What do I need to know? Get all of your concerns addressed at your visit, and if you don't get all your concerns addressed, go back.
Right.
Make sure you get everything addressed, because when women are healthy, and we know this, when a woman is healthy, the community's healthy.
Great advice. Thank you so much,
Thank
Doctor.
you.
The Gynecology Institute of Chicago is located at 845 North Michigan Avenue in Chicago. We'll have more information and a link on our website.